Hello and welcome to Who Dares Roles TV. I'm your host, Mike B. And here we are again. I am currently suffering from the man flu. I feel like death warmed up. However, we never want to shirk our responsibilities, and as a large box of goodies arrived today, what better time to do is spend a little bit of time unboxing something. So, let's do that. So, what do we got today? We have a very big box to unbox. This is the Snowdonia Master Set from, I think it was NSKN? Yeah, NSKN Games. So it's a reprint of the original Snowdonia, which I should probably find. It's over there somewhere. A much beloved board game. I could get up and get it, but we're really not. So yes, I've had Snowdonia, 2nd edition I think I had. It's a beloved game of mine, love it. Great game of, worker placement game from designer Tony Boydell, which... It's in its base version sees you building a train track up Snowdon Mountain based on that. It does some really interesting things with the board, but there's like a layout of cards displayed around the outside, and that's how you kind of move around placing your workers and doing stuff, either building track or gaining supplies, gaining coal and rubble and stuff, and converting it into other uses and building bits and pieces. It's very simple. It's a fast game. It's got a really nice mechanism where you've got this bag of cubes that you're pulling resources from, with these white cubes in this, like action cubes, which kind of this inbuilt timer that kind of force you into action, because the game will keep going. They keep building the track, even if you're not going to. So it's never a game that outstays its welcome. It's very brisk. It's very fast. Really love it. I did a review of it some time ago, and said I do love it. So yes, Snowdonia Master Set. This obviously Snowdonia, and Tony is a producer of content all the time, and the original Snowdonia game has had numerous promos and expansions and little bits and pieces. Tony's forever tinkering around. There's dozens of them scattered throughout the interwebs, and from Tony into sometimes only at conventions, as some was created for competitions, all sorts of stuff. Gathering all of this was always tricky. I had quite a lot of it in my version, but not everything. And this, the Master Set, was the plan was to, for once in one printing, produce everything that's ever been produced for Snowdonia. Pretty much everything. Maybe 1 or 2 cards not in there, but everything. Plus all the expansions, plus a few more new expansions designed by a whole multitude of rather great designers, all in this one set. And it is here. So, shall we crack on? Let's have a look at it. What we get in here. Should probably have the base version, the original game, just for just so I have some idea of context. This is very heavy. So there's that. Let's find the original game, so we get some idea. Should be around here. There it is. There she blows. The old board game cave is a bit of a tip at the moment. So there is my version of Snowdonia, with a couple of expansions in there. So there we go for there. So right. So what we got? We got a very nice sleeve, which we shall remove from there. People's feelings on sleeves, I don't know. Very nice, very pretty. Not entirely sure what purpose it's really going to serve, other than being in the way of me when I'm trying to get into it. And there we have rather beautiful, shiny graphics on there. Then we're diving in. So, I can't even remember what was on this Kickstarter. Let's have a look. So, and I will go and think, I know already I've seen the Board Game Geek and the interwebs is alive with numerous freely included printing errors on some of this stuff, so there's that to look forward to. So there's I think the basic sort of rules for Snowdonia. Yes, I think that's essentially what that is. That's the basic Snowdonia stuff, a setup sort of stuff. We've got another rulebook here, which is the Train Master List Appendix. I'm pretty sure that's every single train, so there's every single card that's in the game. That's tells you what they do. Very helpful. There is, as you can see, an awful lot of trains in there. So there's that. We've got a scenario book, very thick scenario book, which again would relate to all the expansions. So there's dozens in here. I mean, they don't even have, they've got a list to break down in them. Lots and lots and lots. I don't know, there's mini expansions, there's big expansions, there's cable, there's lots. Loads of stuff. tons of them. So there we are there. Loads of things. Massive amount of stuff. I mean, I've got some of the expansions of the base game, and I've only played a couple of them, to be honest. I just quite enjoy the base game, but you know, what can you do? There's a rule summary sheet there, player aid. Looks like we've got a bunch of them in there. It's very large. What's with the large player aids these days? Lifeform I've never looked at, these massive cards for player aids. I mean, this may have a good reason for it. So there's a gameplay summary, and there is a player aid on the other side. Kind of cool. There's lots of them. Oh, there's some other stuff in there. There's a rule summary. There's different types of stuff. Another player aid. Anyway, well, there's a rule summary and player aid. Not entirely sure what difference between the two are for the minute, but there is stuff in there. We have got some rather cool game trays for arranging your game. So that's kind of cool, because there is a lot of contents in there. There is the requisite heap of baggies, a Hessian sack for concealing stuff. There is a bedsaw and a dice. What's a dice doing in a Euro game? And then, my goodness, we get into the meat of it. So here we go. Score pad, lovely. Cubes, so we've got lots of bits and pieces there. Lots of, look at them, they've all been, they've got little graphics on them. That was all part of the stretch goals from the Kickstarter. There's your rubble, there's your action cubes, there's stone and all the other stuff. The kind of base game stuff. All this, there's some goats. You can never have too many goats. They're kind of pretty cool. They're for one of these scenarios. And there is your workers. Yeah, guys, your workers and surveyors, which you use in the main game. So that's kind of cool. And then there is, there is this, which is basically a box of cards. Lots and lots of cards. There is bobbly trains. There is, I think some of this is, well, it might be one of the expansions, I don't know, all the base game cards. There is more trains. More trains. More cards, I think they are the base game cards. More cards. More, there's lots of cards in here. There's just tons of stuff. I mean, this is just a sleever's nightmare come true. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to open all these because number one, it would be carnage trying to work it out. But there is a lot of cards. Now, obviously, all this has been graphically updated. There's been fresh sort of graphic design on some of this stuff. It's all been kind of made to look pretty. I've put them in a random order. Essentially, it's the same game, but yeah, it's just been polished up. Organising this is going to be a joy. There's another box. In here, there is more stuff. There is oxygen tanks for one of the scenarios. There is, oh, there's the surveyors. There's the old surveyors. There's some rails that are used in the main game. There's some daffodils or something for daffodil line expansion. There is a Yeti, a train, and some other player markers and other bits. Updated to that. There is weather tokens and closed off tracks stuff. There is a large wooden die. Another dice. I think this is the Tony's addition to it. So yes, I think this is for tie breaks and choosing who goes first. Because Tony loves the dice. Some water tokens there. There's some gold bits in there. I think that is. There's some wood. Some dynamite from one of the scenarios. There's a guy on a horse, knight in armour. And some coffins for the scenario who uses the coffins. So there's even more tokens. There is a ridiculous amount of stuff. I mean, that's just frankly stupid. I'm not even better to get all that back in there. Yes. So there's that. What else is there? Well, there's more. The most important thing, I suppose, of the proceedings is that there is a player board. So this has been graphically polished up. There's a double-sided board. I've disappeared behind a board. Oh, it's a big board. So yes, there we go. There is one version of it. This board's been graphically updated. And then there is another side, which is similar. So you can play for either side. I think they do exactly the same thing. I don't think there's anything on there other than just graphically been polished up. just so out of context, or in context, I don't know, some context is going to be here. So the base game, so there's some expansions we had Plastic People in my one, just so we can have a look at it, get an idea. That's my original coffins. So yes, that's the base game board for the original game. Much smaller, compact bijou. Oh, well, this has turned into a nightmare. So there we go, yes. So there's the original. Much smaller. And that's now been updated into the monster we've just looked at. But essentially, they do the same thing. So there you go. There is the Snowdonia Master Set. There is the original Snowdonia. There, with expansions of my own in there. Nowhere near the level of the expansions that has now got into it. Could never quite bring myself to get rid of that one. So yes, there you go. Snowdonia Master Set. I will probably be the next 6 months actually trying to just sort this out. There's just ridiculous amount of stuff everywhere. Cool. If you've not played Snowdonia, I strongly recommend it. Check out the review I did of it. I've got a bunch of stuff that I need to get done, and I'm not getting it done, mainly because at the moment I'm dying of man flu. But there is a review of Sumo Gnomes coming. I've got to look at that. There's some other stuff coming up. Essen's on the way, and I'm sure some other stuff. There's a new June remake coming out. Cool. Hopefully I'll get back into the method of more regular updates and videos and stuff. But for the time being, thank you for popping by. Thank you for we've hit 200 subscribers on the YouTube channel. It's unbelievable. We're like into huge numbers now. It's amazing. But yes, thank you for all your new additions to the Who Dares Rolls family. Stick with us. There is more stuff coming. Between babies and work and dying of man flu, it's kind of slowed down my output at the moment. But we will be hopefully getting back to a more regular format. There is a podcast episode I'm waiting to drop as soon as I get the audio from Ben that he's still not sent me over a week ago. Ben. But as soon as I got that'll be going out. And I'm sure some other stuff we've got planned. Cool. Have a pleasant rest of your weekend, as it's a Saturday for me and I've got a rare day off work. And we shall catch up again, I'm sure, on the other side. And when I can be doing with this, I will I'll sort this out. Not today, though. Today is not a day for sorting this out. Okay, fine. Thank you very much for dropping in. Have a good day and ta-ta for now.